Anime, and my co-host is Francesca.
Hello.
And so this is actually like the last episode we're doing for season 2, and so it's just crazy.
Yeah,
Feels like we just started. It's so weird.
I know it really does.
But I'm all for season 3, so if I'm still available, we can still talk about that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that'd be amazing.
well, we still have one more episode to talk about, and then we're just gonna kind of talk about season 3 as a whole, and like our thoughts. Not season 3. Sorry, season 2 as a whole, and our thoughts at the end, and maybe spoilers for season 3 at the very, very end. So episode 25 was called "I'm Different Now."
I was like, because a lot of times the titles are just really random sentences from the episode.
Yeah,
But like this one was so good. Like it has that air of mysteriousness and all that. And it like has the theme of the episode. I don't know, I love it.
no, yeah, I agree. I thought I was like, ooh, when I saw the title.
It's like spicy.
So we start out with a flashback of Kureno, and he's young, and he's like crying, and it shows Akito young too, and Akito's like freaking out, but then it comes back to
Mhm.
present day, looking out the window, and Akito's sleeping. And so Akito just asks Kureno to come closer, and then Akito says something along the lines of like that he sometimes says things that he doesn't really mean, and like it shows a flashback of when I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something like,
Wait, so you can cut this out if we aren't, but are we using he still? Because this episode we find out, so
"Ooh, good point. Okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah,
I don't think anybody's watching this before the episode.
that's true. Okay, that was one thing I was so happy about after this episode. I was like, yay! I
Yeah.
like
You know what? I don't know why they did not use he, him pronouns the whole show, like all the time. They did
I
it in the
know.
manga and it worked so well. Here they like avoid using pronouns except for like 2 times, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And but now I was like, at least now I won't get chewed out for saying she. Like,
Yeah. I've never had a problem saying he. I don't know. I get why people do, but I don't know. It's almost like when you watch the first half, you almost forget that Akito's a girl because they
yeah,
always say he, at least in
especially
the manga.
well for me because I've watched the original. Like
Oh
Akito's
yeah, if you watch the original.
original, so like,
You know, you know who had a really good reaction though to her reveal? Like a lot of people already knew because they were spoiled or like they could
yeah,
just tell because of Akito's voice. You know who
yeah,
had like the best reaction to it?
who?
A la Fluffy Bunny. I don't know if you
Oh,
watch her. She like freaked out because she watched the O1 anime and she always saw Akito as a guy.
yes, I know. I saw that one. And I loved all the reactions to the end of this episode. They were all like, "What?" Sorry.
No. Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So Akito said to Kureno that sometimes she says bad things to him, but like she's like, "But I don't mean it, and you know that, right?" And Kureno's like, "Yeah, and I'll always be with you," and they like hug, and anyway.
You know what's kind of interesting about that?
hmm
Um, I don't know. You know, I know that's a very manipulative tactic to be like, oh, I don't really mean when I abuse you. But
hmm
I don't know if Akito is intentionally being manipulative there or if she's just saying how she feels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Like the way she looked, it looked like she's just like what she is doing is manipulative, but I don't know if she knew she was being manipulative. I thought maybe
Yeah,
Akito is really just saying, you know, I really don't mean that stuff about you.
interesting.
Like, do you think that she was like trying to like,
I have
you
no
know, just keep
idea.
him there?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not so sure. I feel like her face did seem more like she was just saying that other than being manipulative. Uh,
Akito kind of, yeah, kind of switches up how she is sometimes, so you never know.
yeah, exactly. But then that's like the first little scene, and then it cuts to Uo, and she's just talking about how or Hana and Toru come up, and Uo's just talking about how like the sky is so like blue, but yet it's so cold out, and Hana mentions how like she never has gotten a cold, and like there's like a Japanese saying that like idiots don't get cold. So she brings up.
I don't understand that. I've never gotten a cold. What?
Yeah, I know.
How have you never gotten a cold, girl?
I don't know. I also noticed that like I never really thought about it like but you know how like Hana always has her hair in a braid, but like towards the end here, like she's had it in a ponytail more, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
I think, yeah, she's so pretty.
I know I love her hair in a ponytail too, so pretty.
Yeah, that I don't know. That might be my favorite hairstyle for her.
Mhm. I kind of like a
I
little.
also love it when it's down, obviously, too.
Yeah, they're like having to go to the practice or the graduation ceremony, even though they're not graduating. Don't really know why, but anyway.
Well, I thought they were just talking about graduating from second
Uh,
years. Like we're like me saying like I'm graduating eighth grade, or seventh grade. You know what I mean?
uh, okay. But they were talking about, yeah, they were talking about the people who are and like how they're going
Oh,
to.
they were. I must have been out of it because I thought they were talking about themselves.
Okay, I don't know. I'm looking at the manga, so maybe they.
No, no, I believe you. I believe you. I think I'm just like I zone out sometimes.
Well, sometimes the manga is different, tiny but different like that too. So like,
Yeah.
um, but then Toru like does say like how like a lot has happened recently, and then kind of goes to like I guess it's a flashback of her and Reen,
Yeah.
and Reen's talking about how yeah, it's a flashback because New Year's or a lot happened during New
Mhm.
Year's, and so it goes to flashback, and Reen's talking about how like she was moved in her sleep to like start to lay down, and she's like confused because she was sitting up when she fell asleep, and Toru's like, "You were sitting up?" But anyway,
Yeah.
and so Tori's like, maybe like Shisha moved you or Cosma, and she's like, no, I would have known. And then Tori's like, even if Haru moved you, and then Reen's like, well, that's different. And then she's like, wait, how did you know about me and Haru?
Yeah.
She mentions how she just kind of picked up on it, like we kind of talked about that once when Hiro brought up Reen during
Yeah,
the
Toad's a lot smarter than she seems. Like twice this episode, she deduces something like that.
yeah. So but then she's like she just says, "Oh, it must be a woman's intuition," and then Reen's just like, "I don't think you have that." Like,
Yeah.
but then Reen does say like, "Don't mention like or don't talk about Haru because we broke up already." Right when she says that, Yuki comes in the room and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Am I interrupting anything?" And then like Reen just like walks out,
Yeah.
and Tori's like, "No, come on in." And so Yuki came to like wish Toru a happy new year. Then Toru like automatically sees like his bandage on his forehead, and she's just like, "Oh no, what happened? Are you okay?" And Yuki pretty much just says like that he talked to Akito and kind of got in trouble for it, and but then he says like, "But I did do my best," and he's like, and I don't know, it was like that son mother
Yeah. It was a cute like mother son moment.
yes. And Tora remembers, back when she had to like stand up for Yuki in front of Akito, like when she pushed Akito. So she's like also happy for him that he, stood up for himself. And then all of a sudden Momiji's just in the corner of the room. He's like, and they're like, "Oh, hello, Momiji," and he's like, "I want to be pretty Toru." And
Like same Momiji.
Yuki's like, "Oh, did you do something good?" He's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Okay." And so like Yuki leaves, and then Momiji tells Toru that he gave Kurino the DVD. Toru's just like, "Oh, really happy that he did that," and then like Momiji just says like, "I hope let's just pray that he watches it and for Ryo's sake," and then it goes back to where she's standing with Uo and Hana in the hallway, and she like has her hands folded, like she's still praying. And Uo was like, "Are you okay?"
I know. They're so cute, man.
And then they go ahead to whatever they were, I don't know, class or whatever they were supposed to be going to. Then the next scene we have Shigure and Hattori. I guess they're at like Hattori's house. Hattori brings up how Akito's, feeling ill again, and the emotions are getting to her and all this kind of stuff. And then Hattori asks Shigure, aren't you gonna go visit Akito and make her feel better? Shigure says, oh, he already tried. And like when she went to Akito, like Akito just screamed at him and said like, why didn't you do anything? And
yeah, that's kind of something I want to talk about in spoilers later. Like,
yeah,
Akito and Shigure stuff.
pretty much Akito is screaming at Shigure, saying like, why don't you ever choose me first? And why didn't you help when that situation happened with Yuki? And then they bring up like how Akito chose Kureno, and then Hattori's like, well, we're not exactly like chosen. Akito playing favorites, and Shigure is like the mysterious part, or like we know, but Shigure is all like, oh, but don't you think that like Kureno could be, and like it just like leaves it there.
Yeah. Every single reactor kept screaming every time it was left like that because it happened multiple times.
I just know a lot of reactors are like, why can't you just say it?
Yeah.
Oh, and also Shigure brings up the whole speech of how he's the worst kind of man again. And then after that scene, we go to Kureno, and has the DVD that Momiji gave him from Toru, and he's like wondering if he should watch it. And so he starts to play it, and then we have like a flashback while he's watching like the DVD, and it's little Akito. And
Akito was so cute back then. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, she was so cute, and she was
before
just
she was crazy.
yeah, and she was just like talking about how because he was the bird, I wouldn't say bird, but sparrow, rooster, whatever, he could fly, and so Akito was just asking like, what is it like to fly, and that she was jealous that Kureno could fly. Then he sees the play, and he starts to see Uo, and he's literally like touching the screen, like, because he wants to see her so bad.
Yeah.
And so he sees her like doing kind of like her confession of like when she's like, come and see me, damn it, and so he starts to remember her, but then all of a sudden he has like Akito like as a kid yelling, don't abandon me, in like his head, and so he just like gets really confused, like the poor dude.
Yeah.
Like, I always feel sorry for Kureno.
No. Actually, somebody made a tweet that I was like, I was kind of like, yeah, true, but like this is a fiction piece. They were like, in real life, if Kureno saw that DVD of Risa literally in a high school play, he would have realized that she was too young for him.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it is, it is how it is. I don't know. I wish they made him younger, low key. He could have been like the same age as Akito, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, but then we have, and I love this next scene when so Kureno calls Shigure's house, and I just love how Shigure is just like, hello, and then he just like drops his book because he's like,
no, Shigure is so fucking bitter. Oh, sorry, freaking. Sorry.
And he like drops his book because he's so in shock that it's Kureno, and he's all like, oh, you trying to get in contact with Toru? She like never answers his phone. And, like,
yeah.
Which I'm like, that's not true. She does sometimes.
He's just throwing shade, man.
So he's just asking like, why do you want to talk to her? But then Kureno says, also, there's something I should discuss with you too, Shigure. And then Shigure is like, finally.
Yeah.
Oh. And of course we don't
like
hear.
He does like this weird thing. He goes, like he does this like inhale, and I'm like, yes.
But yeah, we don't hear the rest of that yet. The conversation, of course. But anyway.
Yeah. And all the reactors screamed.
Actually, then yeah, Shigure is like, can I ask you something? And then the conversation's over. But anyway.
Yeah.
And then Toru comes in, and Shigure is all like, oh, I need more envelopes. So can you go buy me some envelopes if you're going to the store? And she was like, yeah, I had to buy this anyway. And she's all like, nice about it and excited. And she leaves. And then, like, as she leaves, Shigure has like that evil smile, and he's like, see you later.
Yeah.
Freaking planning everything.
Evil Shigure, Dark Shigure comes out.
So Toru's walking to the store, and she sees like this all these like sparrows all like in the same area, and she just thinks that's really cute. So she like walks over to them, and she's like, "Oh, how cute!" And she's like, "Sorry, you don't have any food." And they're not like flying away, so she's like, "This is like really cool." Just and
I do not know any birds that would just come up. She's a Disney princess, apparently.
I know that's what I thought. I was like, it's like a princess scene where she's just like, "Oh," and then the bird will just sit on her finger, but it didn't. But like,
Yeah.
but then all of a sudden, all the birds like fly away like all at once and kind of scare her. She looks up and she sees Kurino. That's when all of a sudden like flashbacks to Akito actually like screaming as a kid again, which I thought was like I was kind of confused by that, but it was kind of cool at the same time. And then Akito is like where's like freaking out because she can't find Kurino.
Yeah, it was like a parallel to Akito as a kid and Akito now, I think.
Ah, okay.
The screaming Akito and then this Akito freaking out too.
Yeah, yeah. The maids are like, "Oh, he doesn't have his cell phone on. Like he won't answer." And said it was important, so he left. We go back to Kurino, and he helps Toru stand up. But Toru's like she notices about how the birds flew away, and she's like to like put it together because it doesn't make any sense because he's supposed to be like cursed by the spirit of the rooster or the birds, and so they should have stayed because that's what they do like with Kyo and cats and Yuki with rats. They just hang out with them.
I just
And
want to see Kagura with like a wild boar.
yeah.
It's so good.
I always was sad they didn't put that part in the new version where Kyo explains about how like Kagura had boars around them like in the woods, and they didn't put that
I
in
didn't remember that. I was just thinking of it would be cool. I didn't even remember that that was a thing.
no, yeah, like in the manga and in the old anime when Kyo's explaining about like the animals being around them, she was like Tori was like, "Oh, that's so cool," and then Kyo goes, "No, it's not," and he goes, "I was with Kagura in the woods and we got surrounded by boars. It was terrifying." But like they didn't do that in this one because when he was explaining it, it was the episode before Kagura. So yeah. So then she also remembers like very first second episode when it like kind of flashes back to when they're hugged the opposite sex, they transform, and so then Kurino just like hugs her and nothing happens. And that's I remember so many people were like, "What?"
Yeah.
What?
Girl was so smart because she was figuring it out when the birds flew away. I'm like, oh, girl, I would
Yeah,
never.
that's
It's like how she figured out Akito was God before Akito even said it.
yeah.
Master Detective Toru.
But anyway, so then Kurino finally says he's different now and that his curse has been broken. He also says like how he can't fly anymore. So
The way that he says, like, I was happy and I was sad. It's like
mm-hmm.
an ongoing theme with the curse. Like Yuki
Yeah.
first meeting Akito and being like, I was terrified, but I felt love and hatred. I felt like repulsed, but also like I needed to see you type thing. Like you know, how they said the gods in the zodiac made this promise to be together forever. It was, seen as a good thing. Like it's become twisted because that's just not natural,
Yeah. Toru asks how, like, why is his curse, like, how is the curse broken for him? And he says he doesn't know. It just like happened. And then it goes to when he was younger, when his curse broke, and he said like it just felt like there was no one else inside of him, kind of, and it was just like him, and like so like the spirit just like left. So then Kurino gives back the DVD and says like, sorry, your present was like wasted on me, and I came to give you this. And he's like, I can't see Arisa because I already decided to stay with Akito. And then he like starts to like, I like the voice actor like starts to like slowly like get quieter and quieter as he's saying this, and it's like
Yeah.
he's pretty much saying how it was just twice that they met, and like the memories are like are trivial memories, and they'll fade away someday, and he's like, worry about me. And then like Toru turns his face because he's not looking at her, and he's like starting to cry.
I know.
I'm like, he's like just saying things he doesn't want to say. Like,
Yeah, it's like it was only one time. It's not a big deal, but also it was only one time. Why do I feel this way?
yeah. And so then finally, because Toru sees him crying, he says like, yeah, I do want to see her. And he says how like it was the first time he fell in love with someone like by himself. How it hurts, like, because like he could hug her and like embrace her now that he's not cursed, but he's always gets me because like he's like the only one, and yet everyone else still thinks he's cursed. So he has to like, it'd be hard. I feel like it's gonna be so hard on him because like he doesn't want to.
And everybody else is like, Kurano's weird.
Yeah, doesn't want to like, I don't know how to say it, but make them feel crappy by being like, oh yeah, I'm free of the curse, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy how there's been like hints towards this, like saying I don't consider him one of us, or he just feels different or something.
Yeah, they do. Like all of the Zodiacs or rest of the family of the Zodiacs have been hinting about it. They're like, about Kurano.
Yeah.
So, and but anyway, so they go back to the flashback of when he discovered he's like a Zodiac spirit went away, and Akito like starts screaming, and he goes up to Akito and is like, calm down, and the maid's like, what's wrong? And Aki's like, get out of here, and he's like, or she's like, no one can come to this room, and I'll kill them if they come in this room. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and like normally I'd be like, Akito, don't say that, but it was to the old maid, so I'm like, it's fine, Akito.
Yeah, you can kill the old maid, it's all good.
Yeah, for real.
Then Akito was just like, why did it break? Like, what happened? And Kurano's just like, I have no idea, it just happened. And then Akito says like, what's that look in your eye? Which is, she says that like it's so distant and like that he's not even looking at her anymore. That's when we have like Akito pretty much begging, like, I don't know how long, but she just keeps saying like, don't leave me behind, don't abandon me, and she's like crying hysterically.
I was gonna say a lot of people were like, oh, I don't want to feel bad for Akito here. It's like this Akito hasn't really done anything yet. You can feel bad for little kid Akito because little kid Akito isn't evil yet. It's like, you know, if somebody grows up to be a horrible person, does that mean baby them like deserves like bad things to happen? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like little Akito at this point hasn't, you know, gone crazy or anything. She's just like trying to live her life, I guess. And you know, considering she's been told that she is God by everybody around her, I think she's doing pretty good, you know?
Yeah. Then goes back to Kurano and Toru, and Kurano just says that he can't leave Akito because to Akito, like, she's God and God can't exist without the Zodiacs. And so it's like she'd probably feel like nothing without them. And then he goes on to say how he just promised Akito to always stay by her side, just to like, you know, stop those tears. She kept like crying. So, but then he remembers like Shigure on the phone, that maybe he just like feels sorry for Akito or pity.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he just says that he can't leave Akito, and then we get where it shows Akito in like the bathroom.
Yeah, steamy.
And all steamy. It also shows like a clip of like Kurano and like Akito all over each other.
Yeah, for real, doing the deed basically.
Yeah, and then finally, like, yeah, Kurano just says like, I can't leave that girl, like I can't, or said something about like how like she's weak and everything, and how like the weakest member of
she's the most fragile of all of them. Yeah.
And then it says that, you know, Akito's a girl, and Toru's just like, and
no. I'm pretty sure the conversation wasn't over though.
Yeah.
I forget what else is said, but I'm pretty sure that's not all, you know?
No, yeah, it keeps going in the manga, but because I don't want to spoil, so we can talk about that later.
No, it's just funny because I know that there's like just more to a scene, so it's almost like, wait, are we just gonna pick up in the middle of the scene next season?
I know, I'm wondering that too. I'm like, are we just gonna be like, Akito is a girl, and then it starts over again with a
You know,
we'll see.
One of the things I look most forward to for a season, I don't know why, but I'm just so curious what the new opening's gonna be. Like, I want to see all the openings now.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was that episode, which, again, it was just, for the anime only people, I'm sure it was just like, what?
Yeah, maybe not the Akito being a girl part, because most people I know That's surprising, but definitely the curse breaking. Everybody was like, "What the?"
Yeah, and I liked that episode.
Yeah, me too.
Trying to think like.
I mean, I was gonna ask you what your what were your thoughts on this season versus last season, like season 1?
I will obviously this season was much more dramatic, but I was thinking how this season revealed a lot, but yet we still have so much to be revealed in season 3, so it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy compared to last season. I feel like, again, I've said this before, but like the first season is literally just like kind of an intro because there's so many characters and like
The first season is really good,
this one,
but I really prefer this season a lot.
yeah, this one was more the actual like story.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And like the writing for Fruits Basket goes from very simplistic, I feel like very deep still, but very simplistic, like, oh, Kyo and Yuki are rivals because they both admire each other. Like they both have not like it's a bad message, but a lot of it is very much like, oh, a lot of kids could understand this. I feel like it gets much more complex in season 2, like the writing and like the nuances of things, and like you kind of have to read between the lines more instead of them outright being like, this is the message.
Yeah, exactly. It's more, it just gets deeper throughout each season, really.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that if you're just passively watching and you're not like using your brain, you'll probably miss.
Yeah, I just feel like the second season, I know a lot of people that were reacting just were like, oh, about it, because they're like, this, yeah, I mean, the first season there was times they're like, I thought this was a cute anime, but like, I feel like by the second season they're really like, oh, this stuff's deep, like they get it now.
Yeah.
It's like,
so I mean, some people like slice of life better, I think, but I really like more dramatic stuff, more like just give me pain. Basket.
No, yeah, I get you. I'm sometimes I'm like, where's the saddest anime?
For real.
Like,
oh, I have some sad. Have you watched Anohana?
yes, I've watched pretty much all the sad anime.
Oh my gosh, Anohana is so good. Yeah. Sorry for like going on a tangent, but the writer of Anohana is like this very, very famous, like notorious writer, like dramas. I think it's Mari Okada. I forget. But if you really like how Anohana was written, she's written another show this year or in 2019 called "Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season," and it's just so good. But anyway, I recommend that to everybody because it's so good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to check that out. Yeah. And say I agree. I'm weird. I'm always just like, well, I don't know. I like to get the feels.
Yeah, same. There are shows that I watch when I just want to, have happy fluff, though.
Oh, yeah. I have those comedic shows, too, where it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Fruits Basket is so good, because it does have that comedic in it, too, randomly sometimes. Then, I was going to, have, you want to, answer some random questions?
Yeah. I think, you gave me some of them to think of my answer. I think I forgot to think of some of them, but I can do it on the spot.
Okay, well, I was just like, we could just talk about that too.
Yeah.
But one of which overall, which is your favorite ending / opening of Fruits Basket so far?
Okay, so opening is the most recent one. I forget what it's called.
Yes.
Home. And for the ending, I really don't know because I feel like they're all kind of not the same, but they're all like on the same level almost. I really like the visuals for this ending because I really like they basically were like, okay, here's some Twitter backgrounds you can use, guys.
Yeah.
Some still images you can use for your Twitter.
I like the first, I can't even remember what it was called, but I like the first when they're all like sleeping, like song wise, like for the ending. I forget what it's called though. Bothering me.
Where it's like everything changes.
Yeah. But anyway, and then I kind of for like overall ending and opening, I like Home the most, song wise.
I love it so much.
And then I kind of like one step closer is been becoming more of my favorite, but I still think I like the first ending better. So.
Was that the second ending?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
the song I like.
Yeah, I really like that one. It's hard because Yeah, all the songs are so good and the visuals are so good. Like the endings overall are really good. It's hard to pick one.
Yeah. Did you ever figure out like what your favorite episodes, like top episode was, or did you just
Oh,
like?
yeah, this season? I think it was the Rin
Yeah.
backstory episode.
Okay. I just like wrote my favorite ones, but I'm like I still don't know like my top favorites.
What are they?
I put I liked this is not in order at all,
Hmm.
but I eat soma with your friends,
Oh yeah.
um, my precious,
Hmm.
and then there was definitely, and then all mine were like my favorite ones I think
Like
because
all the
like
Kyoru episodes basically.
well yeah kind of well there was definitely is Yuki
Yeah, yeah.
his back.
That one was so good too. Him and Rin. Oh my god.
Yeah, Rin's was good too. Like I made me cry, so it was good.
But like it's hard to say favorite episodes too because some of them have my favorite scene, but like the rest of the episode I'm like meh.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I loved all the Machi stuff in the Machi episode, but then the rest of the episode I was like, it's good, but it's not as good as Machi.
Exactly. That's what I thought when I was trying to think of my top four. I was like, well,
Yeah, because I love the Kagura confession scene, but there's a lot leading up to that where I'm like, it's good, but it's not my favorite. Whereas with the Rin stuff, I think the whole episode is my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good point. Kagura's scene, but I don't know. I cried with Kagura, so I was like, sure.
Yeah, I cried when the opening started playing, and she was like, "Kyo-chan, I love you," and she's saying Kyo-chan because that's what she called him when they were little. It's like she's going back to when they were little, and I'm like, oh.
So like with my precious or so precious, I was just really really excited for that episode.
The episode was so good.
And then when it happened, I was like, oh. And then when I watched it with like dub, because originally like I watched Fruits Basket dub, I literally was just like so stunned by like it. I was like, oh my gosh, I like the voice actor.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched like I don't even know if all the dubs done because of everything that's been going on, but
I was saying I wonder if season 3 will be on time, like because I don't know how bad it is in Japan or anything, but for the animators, like if it'll have to be delayed because of the virus, or if it'll still, because I'm guessing it'll come out spring, just like the past 2 seasons, like if everything's on time. Try and think. Oh, you one of your questions was, is there a character that grew on you in season 3?
Yeah, I had that one. Do you have a character that grew on you?
I think. Hold on. Can you do yours first? Because I do have one. I feel like, but I need to think about it more.
Okay. Mine was Kureno because I don't know
Same.
when I when I read the manga, I was just I don't know. I just didn't feel as attached to him. Like I don't know why. It was just kind of like this random dude that came in. He was like,
yeah, for real.
Kind of like how the Zodiac felt. Like he was just always by Akito's side, and now he never talked. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And then but then like he did get a little deeper, but it was just like, oh, he likes Arisa, and that was like all I really. It's like okay, but now I'm like, dang, poor. Like,
yeah. I like Kureno. I think it's the same for me. I like Kureno more now. Like he's still not my favorite. I don't dislike him, and I do like him. He's just like there's so many other characters that I love a lot more. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I just wish that we got more of him because like. It's like, okay, he likes Arisa. Okay, he's gone for the next 20 episodes. Okay, he's back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they barely show him.
I know. And so I think he definitely grew on me, and at least top 10 character. So, which is crazy, but.
Yeah. That is crazy, man. I don't know. I like them all. I mean, I guess Akito a little bit. Like, I see more of Akito's sad side, I think. Watching the story. I still, I obviously don't condone Akito's actions or anything. Akito's not my, I don't really like Akito, but I understand Akito. But I think Kimi grew on me more, too.
Oh, really?
I already loved Kimi. Well, here's the thing. So when I read the manga, it was like, at first, I didn't really like the student council, but then I grew to love them. But now, since I'm watching the anime, it's like I already love them, and it makes me love them even more.
Yeah. No, I can see Kimi is better, like, to me now, because, again, like, when I first read it, I was like, who's this annoying girl? Probably is what
Yeah, but then you realize she just doesn't give a crap, and I'm like, yes, girl, slay, queen.
Exactly. And now, like, her animated, it just, it's even funnier, like, of her not giving crap. So, like, I think that's it. So that's crazy, but
No.
I know it's sad. I do want to like random like just everyone like that was a guest. Thank them. Like so we had like
Hmm.
Night Owl, Anime Chan, Breathy, Susan, Mia, and I think that was it. But that's still like that's awesome. We had those people come on. So
Yeah.
to all those guys.
Thank you guys. It was so great. It was so fun doing this.
I know. And then thank you, Francesca, for like doing it with me. Like
Yeah, thank you for letting me. It was so fun. I kind of felt bad because it's like I don't have any like maybe somebody else would have been a better host. I just kind of ran in there was like I'll do it,
no,
but it was so much fun.
no, it was fun because like I said, it's like I don't have that many like friends in like real life where I can just talk about Fruits Basket. So this was a lot of
Yeah, just like doing this and being on Fruits Basket Twitter for like the last year or so.
fun.
It's like oh no, it's like I formed a community with so many people and made so many new friends through this, and like so many people I'm like so close to now that I would have never gotten to know if it weren't for this reboot.
Exactly. And yeah, I just love the Fruits Basket fandom. They're just like
Hmm.
mainly most of them are like really kind. Like so
Yeah.
and we're gonna just try to do season 3 if we can. And
Hmm.
excited for that. Goodbye for the last time for season 2.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. And just make sure you come back when we come back, and Fruits Basket fandom will stay together. Itsumo. See you guys.
Bye.
Oh, also, was there any scenes from like season 2 that you like wish they would have like? I mean, I'm sure there is, but done differently, or like they didn't do, and you wish was in season 2? If that
Uh,
makes any sense. Um, I have one already that
yeah,
like
you do yours
people always
first.
talk. Was so people like were talking about this the very first episode because it could have been season 1 or season 2, but like when Kyo like kind of apologizes for like eating
Yeah.
Toru,
Yeah.
like they never did that, and it kind of bothers me still that they never did it
Yeah. Like
because
this,
that
I
would have
mean, they added a scene of him thinking about it, but it's yeah.
yeah. So I was like, that was the one thing I was just like, you could have just made him been like, yo, you okay? And she'd just be like, yeah, it's okay. I just got a scratch or
Yeah.
something.
And we're in spoilers right now, right? So I can say what scene.
Yeah, you can go ahead. We can, well, go ahead and we can do spoilers. Yeah.
Okay. Um, there's a bunch of little things. I guess I'm a big um Machi and Yuki. Well, I like Yuki and Machi and Yuki and Kakeru equally as ships, but um, I felt like in the Machi episode recently, there was a scene after
Mm-hmm.
Yuki had argued with her where he was talking to Kakeru, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Yeah, I didn't know Machi could get like that." And then Yuki was like, "But he was kind of cute, huh?"
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I love that scene.
Yeah, and they cut it out, so now we don't even know that Yuki thought she was cute, man.
So true. Oh my gosh. Uh, um, and then also, so what are we looking forward to in season 3? I know it's a lot, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a lot. All the like the most messed up parts. It sounds so messed up, but like, uh, remember, guys, big spoilers here. Like Akito stabbing Kurino,
oh, yeah.
Toru falling. I don't know. I just want to feel something, man. Make
I,
my cold heart feel pain.
I literally just like I was like, what do I look for? I actually like wrote like these down in like little notes, and I was like, what am I looking forward to? I just put like more Kyotoru, more Yukimachi, more like just all the
I love how you're like, I want all these cute romance scenes, and I'm like, I want to feel pain.
no, I'm excited for the pain, but like
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
and then also
Also, finding out. I can't wait. I think I'm like thinking about reactions, but uh, finding out that Shigure slept with Akito's mom.
Yes. Oh my god.
Bruh, it's like such a crazy thing. I'm like, how is this happening in Fruits Basket?
I still don't understand. I'm like, how at the same time, but then again, Shigure.
Yeah.
And then I also put for what I'm excited for is Momiji growing.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that, like, I looked at the manga and the next time we see him, he's grown. So like, I was like, that's the last time we see small Momiji.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's like one I'm not looking forward to.
Oh.
That's just because it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But no offense to anybody who does like it, but the Katsuya and Kyoko stuff I'm just not looking forward to.
Yeah. I know. I've been reading your.
Like I said, no offense to anybody who likes it, but it's just like not my thing at all. I'm like, oh no, get him out of here, get him out of here.
Yeah, I've been reading your posts about it. I understand how you feel about it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's because I want to explain to the young viewers that what happened in the manga was not okay, because I don't want young viewers to be like, oh, well, it's okay because he really loved her. I'm like, no, she's like a little kid. No.
Yeah. No, that's the thing about Fruits Basket. Like, season 1 or like maybe like the old original Fruits Basket, I'm like, yeah, maybe you could watch that, maybe. And then it's like, after that, no.
Yeah, because it's like, and I just, I'm dumbfounded that it was published in like a magazine for teenage girls, and it was like, look at this little like 14-year-old get with a grown man. I'm like, stop! It's impressionable teens.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I've been making my posts. I know I've been kind of controversial.
It's okay.
I don't want to like upset anybody about it. It's just, it's my personal stuff that I just want to rant about it.
Yeah, you're fine. And but yeah, I know that was like, we went to that and now I'm going back to Momiji. But anyway, but like,
yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
But like, but literally, like, the first thing I thought I thought was funny. The first thing I thought when like the end of the episode, when they were like, Akito's a girl, and I was like, da, and I was just like, first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, I'm gonna see Momiji be big. Like,
I know, it's so cute.
Makes me cry. Like, I don't know why.
Oh. And it's gonna be so unrealistic because in the manga he was already the same height as Toru here. I know I keep bringing that up. I'm sorry.
No,
he did get taller. I'll give them that. He's gotten taller since season 1. So I didn't think that he was growing, but now I realize he was. But it's just not as fast as I hoped.
Yeah, no, it bothered me because in the anime, I'm like, he's not the same height as Toru. He's supposed to be.
Yeah, and like he could still look like a tiny boy and be her height because now is about the same height as Toru, but he still looks like a tiny boy.
Yeah. Oh goodness. I think that's it. So that's crazy, but
no.
I know it's sad. I do want to like random like just everyone like that was a guest. Thank them. Like, so we had like Night Owl, Anime Chan, Breathy, Susan, Mia, and I think that was it. But that's still like, that's awesome. We had those people come on. So
yeah,
to all those guys.
Thank you guys. It was so great. It was so fun doing this.
I know. And then thank you, Francesca, for like doing it with me. Like.
Yeah, thank you for letting me. It was so fun. I kind of felt bad because it's like I don't have any, like, maybe somebody else would have been a better host. I just kind of ran in there, was like, I'll do it, but it was so much fun.
Oh, it was fun because, like I said, it's like I don't have that many like friends in like real life where I can just talk about Fruits Basket. So this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, just like doing this and being on Fruits Basket Twitter for like the last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, it's like I formed a community with so many people and made so many new friends through this, and like so many people I'm like so close to now that I would have never gotten to know if it weren't for this reboot.
Exactly, and yeah, I just love the Fruits Basket fandom. They're just like mainly, most of them are like really kind, like, so
yeah,
and we're gonna just try to do season 3 if we can, and excited for that. Goodbye for the last time for season 2.
Yeah, goodbye.
Thanks for listening. And just make sure you come back when we come back, and Fruits Basket fandom will stay together. Itsumo. See you guys.
Bye.